Hi, hello. It's like we didn't even know we were going live.
I started speaking out loud to myself. That's what happened, and I didn't want to get caught in the live, and I'm glad it didn't get caught.
That's amazing. Well, hello, welcome. Welcome everyone that's here live and welcome everyone that's watching on the replay. My name is EmilyHanhan. This is my friend Audra at home. And we do this live stream thing twice a week, almost every week. Usually it's Tuesdays on Audra's channel and Thursdays on my channel. All of our info is linked in the description box. So if you are not subscribed to either of us or don't follow us on other things or want to look at our Patreon or stuff like that, it's all down there. Thank you to everyone that is here live, including Bo, Audra's Pitbull, in the background.
Licking himself pretty aggressively, which is why I look back. I apologize. So loud.
Sometimes you hear things and I'm like, I don't hear it. I don't think anybody hears it, but I think it just depends. Wig hair is annoying me right now. Apologies. But thank you to everybody that is here with us live. Maisha and Liz and Allie and Feffy and Angie and Natalie and Jeff and Emily and Cecily and Lisa Marie and Sharon 93 Rudd, Sin and Satines, our early birds. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to all of our patrons and our members between our two channels. And also thank you to all of our mods who do this work for free as a volunteer. Please respect the mods and respect what is being talked about in the chat as well. That's always happens, but just respect what mods might be saying in the chat.
Yes.
Because they are doing work to keep this space safe and welcoming for everyone. And we're here tonight to kind of talk about cream makeup, and I went straight into like the rise and fall of cream makeup, just like thoughts and feelings and trends and all of this stuff and what might start happening as we start like re-entering the world for those of us that have not been re-entering the world as of late.
I mean, you could just say, Emily, I went on some tirade against cream makeup.
Basically, cream makeup makes oily bitches mad because it made Audra mad. And cream makeup has been one of those things that like I definitely scoffed at for a long time. And I've kind of experimented with a lot of it over the last year and a half. And I'm at this point now where like I have a better feeling. I'm more in the neutral camp and Audra's more in the like die, kill it with fire camp.
Like I like some of it, but like it's when it's winter, okay. Yes. But if you have oily skin and you live in a hot ass state, like cream makeup ain't it. It's not it. We're not like I'm not letting my face melt the fuck down.
Yes.
It's just not a good time for me. Like because I still hated it. I remember when I was trying it in the summertime, I still hated it. But as it cooled off, like I didn't mind it as much because I was like, oh, it's not like melting directly off my face. Like
yeah exactly. I think so the thing is that I feel like if we look at like the history, because we've been on YouTube for a while, like Audra's been making videos for longer than I have, but I've been on YouTube and into makeup or like as a viewer. And I feel like once we started talking about this more specifically for today, I was like, that was the direct teenage rebellion response to the all matte super powdered face. Yeah, it's like that's why we had the Glossier, the Nude Stick, all of these brands that really harped on this no makeup, which is one of the things that makes me the most angry and most mad. But that might be a different live stream, but it'll probably come out tonight. Yeah. But I feel like it was this direct response of like, oh, we powdered our face for so long. Everyone is so mad. Everyone is so flat. So like now I want to look like I've dipped my face in water. Like,
well, and like you said, a response to powder, but also it like the child, like response to like the full beat.
That
like
too.
That whole like matte face, like dry powdered face and the full beat, like that whole thing together was just like, because I think everybody got tired of it. I'm not gonna like, I think a lot of people at some point or another, even those of us who love makeup, got to like the contouring and the this and the that and the
layer
baking, and it just
upon layer upon layer. And at the time, it was all powder, or for a lot of people, it was heavy on the powder.
Yeah,
that is
because your liquid was going to be your foundation and your concealer, and then everything else was going to be powder on your face.
Yes. And like you said, it was very heavy. You know better. You do this all the time. D, you are not late at all. We've only been talking for about 5 minutes, just getting into it. Also, I did not do the proper instruction. Good morrow, everyone. Because I see them in the chats, and I'm just like, good morrow, everyone. But I do think it was this extreme reaction, and then it turned into this. I think I definitely felt a resistance against it for so long, in particular when partnered with the no makeup. Even though I was over the like full beat, I was still like, okay, but this is like built on good genetics, and it's built on being conventionally attractive is what no makeup is. It's built on, because the thing is that there was all this conversation about good skin and not needing to cover it up. And it's like, I'm very grateful for the skin that I have, but I also know people that, like, I know that everyone goes through different skin experiences. Not everybody has what they would call good skin. And so to build this whole trend on like minimal makeup and letting you shine through, it's like, yeah, but I mean, some of us, we have things we want to cover. And instead of finding a balance, it was this extreme reaction that I feel like ostracized a lot of people from it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about anybody who has any kind of skin issue, and that's one of the reasons I'm with you on like hating the no makeup look, because and that's not to say you can't enjoy it, y'all, and it doesn't mean that I don't do it, but I don't like the concept behind it.
I meant to say this when we started. Anything that we talk about tonight, anything that I say I don't like, Audra says they don't like, or we say we're over or we're not into, that is not to shame anyone's makeup choices. It's just to kind of, we like to extrapolate, take an idea and talk about it and dig into it. So yes. So even if we get to be ranty little bitches, because I know I have my salty bitch space too, like it's not to shame anyone's makeup choices, but I also like to dive into it to talk about the things like the model-esque look, and let people understand that there's also a reason why you might not have felt a connection to that makeup style. And it might have been because you're sitting there being like, but that's not my skin. I can't just do this. I can't just do tap, 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 some basically balm on my cheeks for highlighter and call it highlighter. Like I need things with color or with coverage in them. So
because like I feel like there's a lot of people out here in these makeup streets who were upset because like it was something that they couldn't enjoy as much because they had textures and things on their skin that they just didn't feel comfortable with. And so it was hard for them to find, like, to even like cream products, because like they may have tried a cream foundation or something and were like, I don't like the way that this really makes, like, I don't want everybody to see this part of my skin. So getting away from just like the base product and starting to kind of play with other things like the eyeshadows and the blushes and all of that, then you like, that's what I did. I was able to be like, oh, hey bird. I was able to be like, okay, well, I don't mind it in a blush, right? I was like, I don't mind cream blush. I'm not going to like a cream foundation. I'm just not. I don't like it. It's not for my skin. It feels weird. I have not figured out why it feels weird, but it just doesn't, like, I just don't like it on my skin. But I think that as it gets hotter and as more and more people start going outside, the reality of the longevity, or rather lack thereof, for cream might change. Like, because you're probably just going to have to go back to the powder anyway, if you are a person who uses powder, to wear the cream makeup all day.
Well, and that's part of it. It's like, so for me, I've realized that I can play with certain textures. Like Feffy made this comment pretty early on, which I agree with. I really like putting down a cream highlighter and putting a powder highlighter on top because it makes the powder highlighter just like beam. And I already have highlighters that beam, but there is something about it that just, it is next level. It's also why a lot of times I'm putting my highlighter directly on skin that's unset. Like I will conceal, and then like that's what I did today. I was spot concealing today, and then I put highlighter on top, and I was like, oh yeah, my skin is all nice and dewy because I was using the Uoma concealer that's very like emollient. But yeah, so it's like I will like to layer, but then sometimes I'm starting to think realistically about like, okay, is me putting on a cream blush and then a powder blush, a cream highlight, and then a powder highlight, is that going to give me more longevity than just using powders?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm not really sure about. And that's what I think the next like development of life in the panini press will kind of show for us, because sometimes if I have cream underneath powder, I find things are separating quicker, and sometimes they don't. So it's also this like alchemy of mixing together products and skincare and all of that to see what works.
Oop, here it is. The natural makeup trend was never inclusive. It was always marketed as for only certain people with good skin to begin with. Yes, and not only just people with good skin, but it was very much like white people with good skin. And like just generally, it was very much a white people with good skin look. It was just not inclusive to any other race, ethnicity. Like it was just very much like, this is because if you looked at a lot of the tutorials for so long, whose skin were they doing it on? They weren't like, they weren't sitting here like showing you how to do it. So we're all just sitting there like, okay, so what do okay. And then when the product started coming out, what were the shade ranges? You look at the majority of these companies, they weren't including my skin tone. So that, like, white people with good skin,
white
no
young
makeup
is a good point too.
Yes, white young people with good skin didn't help a lot of people. If you were older and had, some freckles that maybe you're not a fan of having show, even if you have good skin, you're just like, well, I don't think that this looks the same on me when I have under eye wrinkles. Like, what I mean? Like, my skin's good, it's clear, but I don't think that this looks the same on me as it does like a 24-year-old who has like no signs of aging, so they look fantastic.
And like the super dewy concealers, like I feel iffy about Glossier. But I still have this annoying curiosity about their potted concealer. But it's like, I think that this is hilarious. You mean cosmetic CC cream wasn't inclusive? Exactly.
Most of them still aren't inclusive currently. Yeah. Not just it, but like brands generally that are making skin tints are still like.
Exactly. Like I think about, okay, so like Ciate London released one recently that has 12 shades. And I was like, I mean, for Ciate London, I guess that's like, I was still like 12 really, but I was like, but it's also Ciate London. Like, what am I expecting? But that's the sad part about it. It's like, what are you expecting? I'm expecting brands to cater to larger populations and care about these larger populations of people, because it's money lost. And I've never understood that. I have never understood the like, oh, we just don't want to sell to you. It's like,
yeah,
you're just saying no to money. And Korean makeup was also very non-inclusive, like in terms of skin tints, their kind of tones for cream blushes. Because I still get stuff from Yes Style, like either I'll get it as PR or I'll buy things, but like they'll do little like things where it's like you can get like a $50 gift card to buy from, let's say it's 30 different products. And so you could like make your own face of it. But I've gotten some things where I'm like, yeah, Audra wouldn't be able to do this thing that I'm doing, because the colors that were offered, like even when I got like a cream blush or liquid blush that seemed like it was, I thought it was going to be more of a purpley tone, but it was really lilac. And I was like, that's not really gonna work. So I do think that I don't know if Korean makeup is becoming more inclusive. I think that maybe some of their like color cosmetics, but the skin stuff, I don't really think so. And yes, clean beauty. Fuck clean beauty.
Yes. Because it's like, because if you look at the evolution of where this all comes from, I feel like the cream movement stems from that as well.
Yeah.
The like clean movement came with the cream movement, and it's all like clean ingredients, and you just tap it on.
Yeah.
Tap. And then the thing is, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do your makeup that way. But I feel like if you go look at it and you look at the majority of people who love their Glossier or what skin tone do they have? Do they have any skin issues?
Yeah.
And you're going to find a lot of the times the answer is white, and no, they don't.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like cream because I don't feel like it is sustainable for your everyday, all day makeup look. The very nature of cream is movement.
Yeah.
And the way that they've kind of marketed a lot of these is like, you just very gently, like, if you put any powder on it at all, because you're just really supposed to let it just be on your fucking face,
Yeah.
melting up.
Yeah.
And then you go on and you have your day, right? Well, I'm going to tell you, you all have heard me say this before. It's not unusual in Texas in the summer for the heat index to make it 120 degrees. Some days 121. It's ridiculous. There's no way at all I would make it like even an hour with a face full of cream.
Yeah.
Even an hour in this heat. Like if I had to like be outside 4 times in an hour, I'm done for. I am finished. Yeah. Like I would just be finished, because there would honestly be like nothing left. It would just melt off of my face.
And here's the other part of it. So I think, so there, you said the word sustainable, and it had two thoughts in my head. One, yes, where, because not every cream product is built the same. And these like very, very, very creamy formulas, in my opinion, don't layer and mesh as well as some of the formulas that are a little stiffer, a little less intensely creamy. Because, like, I actually heard a creator influencer say this recently in a video, and I was like, yeah, I do agree with that. Is that sometimes they are so emollient that if you're layering, let's say you bring your cream highlighter down onto your apples of your cheeks, like I do, and you have concealer that maybe blurs into that. You put cream blush on top, and like, you are being just a little asshole tonight, huh?
He is in a mood.
He is, and I'm gonna keep water bottle spraying him in his butt until he keeps moving.
I thought you were gonna say something else, and I was like, that is inappropriate. Like,
no. Water bottle spray, meaning setting sprays that I don't really like, because that's the kind of trashy person I am. But I also think that a lot of cream products don't really they're not made for layering makeup. And I don't think people talk about that enough, because like the way the creams will kind of layer, and then all of a sudden it feels thicker on the face, or it feels more like movable and pliable than when it was just the cream highlighter by itself. But I also think of the lack of sustainability. I think it's really actually kind of fucked up how many clean brands are focused on cream products, when logistically cream products are going to go bad faster than powders.
Yeah.
And so how is this kind of like, I played with this, actually Gabby in the chat sent me, speaking of one of those cream brands, Tower 28, one of their blushes. I've used it twice now, and I'm like, I seriously don't get the hype. And I have a lot of cream products that I like, and I'm like, this is lipstick in a tub.
Yeah, you told me about that, because I was like, I like my e.l.f. putty blush. Like, I think it's super cute. It's fun. But like, I mean, I'm not.
But that's like more drier and silicone-y to me.
Yeah,
that's like a drier formula. But like this, you're like, it's lipstick, but it doesn't even look good on the lips, in my opinion. Like it doesn't lay nicely.
Yeah, lip and cheek stains usually don't, to be honest. It looks good on one or the other, but not both.
But even for me, I don't feel like this looks good on my cheeks. Like it blends out kind of patchy. It's very thick. And so I'm like, okay, this is if you're only wearing blush. If you're only wearing blush and you don't have any base makeup on and you're not layering your makeup, that's what this product is for. If you're only going to reach for their cream bronzer, that's what that product is for.
Yes.
But I really dislike this concept of like the full face of cream makeup when the reality is that a lot of cream makeups aren't really being made for a full face the way us bitches that love makeup are wearing them. Like, I think that's the thing too. Are you distracted by Terry?
It's the way Terry gets, like, it's the way you're talking. He's just behind you, like. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And then like he looks, and I'm like, this damn cat. Yeah, that's the thing. But here's the thing about that: the quote unquote layering is it's like technically you're not supposed to be layering it.
Yeah,
you're really like. If you go and like go way back in the olden days and see what like it was done, it's like, oh, you put like the foundation here and like you put a little concealer here, dot concealer here, you dot the blush on here, and then if you want to like touch it. So to me, it's more work than me just putting on a regular face. Because at this point I'm like doing a paint by numbers on my face with a lot of cream products so that you're not necessarily layering them.
Yeah.
Because they don't lay over one another. And I think that that's kind of part of the problem is you want to be able to use this with makeup you already have, right? But some creams don't go well with powders. Some powders don't go well with creams. Some pull up from the others. I told you he is being a full ham tonight. Like he is in his zone.
I was so excited about this topic, and I'm just like very, very distracted. But it's okay. It's still a good topic.
My son's behaving tonight, and yours is acting up. And yeah, Tiny Taz brought this up and said wet eye looks look ridiculous on most people. Am I supposed to go to work in that shit? And that's the thing is like some of this is like very cute, but there's like things where I was like, there's no reason for me to buy this.
Yeah.
Because the more I thought about it, the more I realized it was like, if I buy this, like what? Where am I gonna wear it? Like,
yeah,
like, even these colors that I have on, I can wear these to, a workplace or whatever. Like, I don't feel like this would be editorial, but I feel like a lot of them wet eyes, like that was like, where would I wear that? Like, I'm not wearing, like, first of all, I'm not going to the club. Even when this whole thing is over, I'm not going to the club.
The club is so sweaty. I wouldn't wear a glossy eye to the club. That's like asking for gloss dripping down my cheeks.
And like weird hairs to attach them.
But also, to get away from that part, there are ways to do those kind of like shiny eye looks. Like I think about even Color Flop with some of their Super Shock shadows, the really glittery, shimmery ones. Danessa Myricks and some of those Color Fix, the cream eyeshadows that dry all the way down. Like that looks, because they're super sparkly, they can look like your skin is just wet. Like if you put like Danessa Myricks is a color called like Milky Way, and you could put that down first and put shadows on top, or you could like just wear it and your eyes would just look sparkly and they would look glossy. Like they look shiny and wet without being logistically a nightmare. So it's just like, I feel like there are so many ways to do makeup and like the technology. Oh, this was another part of the conversation. So in the midst of the whole like no makeup cream trending, all of these people that were so into that were kind of ignoring what was happening with powder products and how much better they were getting, how much more finely milled the powders are, how powders can have more radiance to them, either really natural radiance or really glowy, and not just
flower
highlighters.
Beauty blushes that are like just glowy and beautiful, and it's still a powder.
Even my favorite blush duos, the Cover FX ones, the glowy side, like to me, like it makes my skin like glow from the inside out. And then there are powders that like Hourglass, Becca, even Elf, Makeup Revolution, like a lot of brands have done these baked powders or loose powders that give that glow where you can set Yeah, humidity and cream, nah, not so much. Like, but yeah, like there's so much of an advancement in formulas in both eyeshadows for the faux glossy eye, in powder blushes, powder highlighters, powders, like pressed and loose powders, and then how we're applying. All these people were seeing the really flat matte face and then the stripe of highlighter. But now that's not how a lot of us are applying. Like, correct. I was saying to you, and I did a similar placement today, but like I will go in and put the highlighter down first and really buff it in, but put it in a lot of my face and then layer the blush on top, this and that. And so my skin looks glowy and dewy. And yes, I look like an alien slut because of the highlighter color I picked, but you don't have to pick a multi-chrome highlighter like I'm doing today. Like, so I just think that everyone was like, oh, powders are the worst. And they just...
Powder makes you look dry. I'm like,
yeah,
you're dry. Like that. And that's the thing about cream makeup that really started to make me angry and like get on my nerves. And I kept complaining about, as I was like, no, I get it. If you have dry skin, this makes sense. I understand it. But the oily skinned bitches were having a hard time.
Yeah.
Because there are some things I could wear, and if I like threw some powder on top of it, like I would be okay. But the majority of it, the very idea of like the very idea of covering my entire face in cream and trying to survive the Texas heat sends shivers down my spine.
Well, there's also like the sensory part of it that I think probably plays a little more intensely for you. So like
you go touch your face and it's just like, you're like,
yeah.
Like your whole being is just no. And I don't want to powder tons and tons and tons because like
but also like you can powder in more specific places. And again, if you're reaching for the same powder you were reaching for 2 years ago or even a year ago, like that's the other part of it, is like all of a sudden people are like, I'm going to go explore the world of cream makeup, and they are exploring. And if you're having fun, go for it. Yes. But I also felt like you're not exploring what else is happening out. And I think it was just a level of condescension about like, and this is probably me reading more into it, but I felt like, oh, I'm better than you because I don't have to like fuck with powders. I don't have to do that much work. I don't whatever. Again, that goes to my no makeup hatred. But I just felt like there was just this like very much blinders on about what kind of makeup people were interested in when there's like this whole world, like the glossy eye thing. Multi-chromes, glittery duochrome shadows. Like
my eyes look like oil slicks all the time on my Instagram.
Exactly. Like Peachy Keen, one of a shade from JD Glow, or like some of the shades in the Adept Plain Jane that was mentioned. Like I can put that down and it literally looks like a wet, like peach to green, but the peach almost looks like my skin tone. So I literally can look like an alien, like a wet alien on my eyes and on my face. No, they don't.
Kind of, but like the ones that do, it's like this. And now we're going to use a little bit of powder.
Yeah. But a lot of them don't.
I feel like
them really don't.
You know that video where they were putting orange juice into the mimosa and they just like waft the orange juice? I just think about the like juice over the champagne. That's what I feel like they do with the cream. They just like let the essence of a powder get near their face. They're like, and powder.
Well, I think about like, was it Kylie and what is it, Shayla Mitchell or whatever, a couple of different people that have done like ad Instagram stories or ad Snapchats that were like, I am totally washing my face, and their hands are like out here like 6 inches from their face. And like they're magically clean again. It's like, I'm powdering, and the powder is like 6 inches from your face. Like nothing is actually hitting the face. So
yeah, because I will definitely say if you have oily skin, like cream blushes are so fun because a lot of times what you're going to do if you put a powder highlighter over top, then you have like a little bit of powdering happening. If you're going to go ahead and use a powder, excuse me, bronzer, that stinks. Whoa. Sorry, everyone.
Also, Sharon, they don't. brands just like to do that. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, they don't, and they have a bunch. I have a lot of good multi-chromes that aren't liquid, and I'm living my best life. Oh, yeah. Natalie said Cleona, and guess what's finally shipped?
Your
Who knows when it shows up, but my Cleona has shipped.
Yay!
I only bought those in, I don't know when.
It was still 2021 though. So
was it 2021 when I bought them?
Yeah.
I feel like it was 2020.
Maybe like Christmas. But I feel like it wasn't. I feel like it was like January. So I feel like it was like the gray of January, and you were like, fuck it, I'm buying Cleona.
You might be right.
Also, like JD Glow Unexpected is the most beautiful, like gold, silver taupe, shiny shadow that always just looks wet on my eyes. No gloss or anything. It's just like shiny and beautiful. Oh, that's another one that I fucking hate. Cosmetics serum blushes. I don't understand these. They are oil and pigment. And I didn't buy these. A friend sent them.
You're so mad. Continue.
I am so mad. I literally have a box of declutter stuff over here. And I thought they were within grabbing distance, but maybe they're not.
Shadowless. Here's the thing. What you have to do with Cleona is you have to hand it out into the ether. You have to purchase it, and then you just like look away and continue the rest of your beauty life. That is how you enjoy Cleona. I know people get mad about the ship time. The only way you can enjoy it is to literally buy it and then be like, that's the end of that, and move on. Your life. And then when it arrives, you're like, oh my God, a present. It's like a present for you.
It was like when you got the shipping notification and you were like, OMG, it's shipped.
Yeah. And I actually forgot I bought them. So it was good.
Yes. But yeah, like with the M serum blushes, somebody sent them also for me they were decluttering them. And they literally, I've tried multiple times to wear them. They are oil with like the slightest bit of pigment. And one of the reasons why it's on my mind is also because Tina mentioned it in her video. It wasn't today's video. It was like from the first, I think it was her haul video, and how bad they are to her. And it was like, thank you.
You're like, I am redeemed.
Also, Tarima asks, has anybody tried Bodyography glitter pigments? So there's another creator, Karima McKimmey, who's based, I think, in Australia, that did a great video, or maybe 2 videos in the past 6 months, if not sooner, about like wet look single eyeshadows that are not like glossy. Great videos. And I think she mentioned Bodyography. So like, that's what I'm saying, is that those, like, without it being pressed glitter, those super glittery, shimmery shadows give you the same look as what I can only imagine to be disgusting, which is glossy lids. I just can't. I can't.
Yolanda's in this house saying, I'm safe, that I'm old enough to remember when everything took 6 to 8 weeks to arrive. I'm okay with pre-order ship times. Same, like so many of y'all are young. Y'all don't remember the olden days when you wanted to order things, you didn't even order it from the internet. You ordered it from the book, the
JCPenney catalog.
The catalog, and you would fill out a card by fucking hand on what you wanted. Yep. You would like put in the fucking SKU number, and then you would put the quantity and the color, and then you would fold it all up, and you would put a stamp on it.
Also, good night, Angie.
Night, Angie. It was an ordeal. So, like, I think that's the other reason it doesn't bother me. But also, I have some pretty intense object permanence issues, so I have no fucking idea. Like, Emily knows the multiple times that like anybody sends me stuff, and I go, they send me a tracking number. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Like I said, I think you have the extreme opposite of what a lot of people have. A lot of people just constantly like need to check tracking, and you're just like, nope, don't bother.
Yeah. I like, if you say you sent it, then you sent it.
Yeah.
And that's the end for me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think it's interesting thinking about cream makeup, and just like, there is some good stuff out there. And that's what I want to say is like, I've tried a lot of great products, but I've also tried a lot where I'm just like, I don't get the hype. And I think it's also like I wear glasses. I tend to touch my face. Like I tend to like have things like hitting my face in some way. If something is super dewy, exactly. I never do this like whole hand on my face.
Like somebody calls you, you're like, hello.
The way you just did that is like so. And see something about like skin gloss, but I also saw some bad reviews of that, but I don't know. I didn't actually try it, but like skin gloss, just that phrase, I'm like,
that sounds disgusting.
No, but like the Denesamyrix, the Duet Balm.
Yeah, I like that.
That's like, it's a nice thin texture. You can wear it by itself. You can wear it underneath powder. You can tap it over powder. And that's the thing that I realized is like, if it's a thin texture, it doesn't have to be silicone-y, but just a thin texture that like you can play with and work with makes me so much happier than those thicker texture, I think, creams.
Yeah. Where it's just like slathered on your face. And I will say that, you know, honestly, as we move into, I feel like North and some of South America might be moving into summer right now.
Yeah.
So as this starts happening, oh, wow. Forgot about this. Moving on. So sorry. I didn't realize that's my lady idol doing this dance, and it like ruins my life every time I see it. Let me look away. Look away, child. Oh my God. Here she comes with the belly out. Okay, we're going to move on. It's death proof. Okay. And oh, Jesus. Let me just cool off.
I don't even know. I'm so out of sorts when it comes to movie references. I'm just like, okay. Seriously, just like, okay.
It's the butt cheeks and it's her face. And anyways, it's her everything. But like as we move into, you know, summer and North and like most of North and parts of South, you know, America, I would just say that if you are looking for, if you have oily skin, have 1 or 2 cream products in your like entire, but I would really just only have 1 or 2. Like I did not mind even when it was super hot, when I was using like the Duet Balm, but not using any other cream product. Just like 1 cream product. And then the rest of my face was just like liquid foundation or whatever, because everything else is going to be powder. My bronzer is going to be powder. So I'm getting some powder on me and I'm doing well, but like, it's just not like, it's not a full face of cream isn't, I think, going to be the ideal for most people. And even if you have dry skin, I don't think it's going to be the ideal for you either.
But I mean, but you don't really know. I want to say that because, like,
I don't know,
because I know a lot of people that still swear by it, and they swore by it pre-mask life.
Yeah,
like, so that's the thing is like we only know what we know. I know for me also the thing that I have to think about. So like the CoverGirl Clean Skin Milk Tint Foundation thing, even the new Fenty tint. I would not as much go heavy on the cream products when I'm wearing those because they're more dewy. And that's when I can feel it. So sometimes, especially in these summer months, the spring months, even early fall, I have to judge. Like today, actually, because I knew I wanted to try this again, I was like, let me just do my spot concealing and see how it goes on my just skincare skin. Because sometimes it's a better application that way versus layering it over a more dewy base. And so I think that's the thing is like, it's about like the mix and match, but it is true that like, as we go into being able to spend more time out in the world, whatever that means, as more of us get vaccinated, as more of us, as jobs open back up, as all of these things, just like pay attention to how like the makeup you thought might have worked for you, if it stops working, it's not that the makeup is bad. It's not that you're bad. It's not any of that, but it's that like, it's about pairing it and how you mix it together. Because like I will probably wear cream highlighter out in the world, but I don't know in the warmer months if I'll even touch cream blush outside, because of the humidity and where my glasses touch and my tendency to be a sweaty beast, because I am a sweaty human. I'm just like,
Yeah.
maybe I don't do cream like cheek product.
Yeah, I mean, it's same. Like I most likely won't be using like a lot of cream cheek products, especially when it's hot, because sunglasses. Like, if you want to be blind
Yeah.
in the summer, then fine. Don't wear sunglasses out in the Texas sun. Do you be blind? It's fine. Like, that's your business.
Yeah.
If you want to do this to your life on purpose, go for it. I can't help you, but you're wearing sunglasses 90% of the day. Like, if you're not, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's the weekend, we're out and about, the Pizza Hut is finished, we're just all gonna be like kind of doing this thing. And I think, don't get discouraged though,
Yeah.
because remember, like, the height of a lot of this started when we were inside. So the height of cream makeup started taking place. And I think another reason I did want to talk about this is because I started to see more people, as like places of business started opening up, people being like, I need a different foundation than this cream that I have on when I'm wearing a mask all day at work.
Yeah.
It's irritating my skin. I'm having these issues. What can I wear?
Yeah.
Like, what can I wear instead? And I think it just depends on your skin, obviously, right? It's going to completely depend on your skin and what you do and how you live your life. For me, cream makeup just isn't gonna make it for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not. And I'm like, that's okay. But I feel like, you know, I feel like my first really angered response came from the Tower 28 bronzers, because I'm finally like, okay, I'll try this shit. And then I do, and just the fury I had, where I was just like, oh, okay, you mean like two? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I said, having tried this, I'm like, and I talked about in a January haul that I drunkenly bought some of their lip glosses. They're fine. Everyone raves about them. I'm like, they're fine. They're not anything special to me. So having tried this, I'm like, I'm pretty much good just forgetting this brand exists. Like, beyond the way that they handled their initial launches and then their formulas, I'm like, it's not a brand for me. And that's okay. It's okay for me to dismiss a brand because it actually helps my makeup goblin. Because if I'm just like, for now, they're going to be off my radar, like, that's good. That's not a bad thing for me. And then if things change, things might change.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
You can. So, like, you can do both things. And I figured out how to do like skin tints and all of that, like a very light foundation, or a light to medium, or medium coverage. I don't have any problems with the mask. But I do keep in mind that I'm generally wearing a mask for maybe 1 to 2 hours at a time, and not a full day. So I couldn't tell you what it's going to look like 8 hours later. But I did notice that, like, because I've been fussing around with varying foundations every day since this went down. And there are some that, honestly, when I had it under the mask, I was sweating and my skin started getting irritated. And I was like, okay, that's one I can't wear underneath. I know I can wear Marc Jacobs. I can wear Pat McGrath under there. I know I can wear the Armani. I know the CoverGirl Skin Milk I really can, for the most part. I can wear that one.
Because that one, even on me, that one is super, super dewy. Like,
so the trick is the lightest of touch applications that I can possibly do.
You know what? Actually, that is something that I saw. The same creator that I've watched a couple of their videos, and they were talking about how they will put on the skin tint really, really thin layer with their hand and really rub it in. And I was like, I want to test that out again, because it's been a while since I played with it. Anyway, but that's a good thing to remember for.
Like the lightest touch with, like, especially a lot of the skin tints and the light coverage. And if they don't like necessarily like dry down, I found that just really helped, because I was like, okay. But then there are other things, like my Becca Skin Love hates being under the mask, hates it. And I'm like, and I think my Uoma Beauty wasn't so great under the mask either.
Interesting. Because I can imagine, like, if I was going to guess based on the foundations that I have, because I have a smaller foundation collection, which have as many foundations as you want to have. I'm just clarifying. for me, I feel like I would assume that the Uoma and the Catrice would wear well under the mask, and that the Fenty and the CoverGirl might be a little trickier. But that's because I think of the Uoma and the Catrice as more satin natural, and the Fenty and then the CoverGirl kind of going into the more dewy range. Fenty is not as dewy as CoverGirl in my experience, but still more dewy. So interesting. And it's also, somebody said like, well, why are cream products released around the summer if it's so, it's all like aspirational. So much of this is aspirational because they're like, be by the pool and just like tap on some cream blush and some like waterproof mascara. And I'm just like, if I am by water, I have SPF on, that's it.
Yeah, because like, I mean, and that's where I think looking at cream makeup from that perspective and looking at it at the perspective of like, why would it come out in the summer? That's the perfect time for shit like this to come out, to convince all of us that we're going to hang out by the pool. Like, here's the thing. If you want to wear makeup at the pool, there's nothing wrong with it. Wear it, but just like wear your regular makeup.
Absolutely. Yes. I just mean like I also wouldn't be wearing really creamy makeup by the pool. Like I would be like, maybe, you know what? I would probably strobe. I would put on highlighter. I would like put on like highlighter everywhere and just be like, yes, I'm a glowy bitch. Oh, that's interesting. Yolanda mentions the Uoma has hyaluronic acid, so it doesn't set for me at all. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think this is a good point, is that as things change, like you might have to reevaluate the makeup that you think you love, that you've been loving for the last year. Because like somebody in chat mentioned how like they've been wearing more makeup since the Pizza Hut started. I actually agree. I've been playing with more makeup, like not... But I was also working from home before, so I wasn't putting makeup on for the like a couple of months before everything went down. I wasn't doing that like leave the house 9 to 5 routine. So I do feel like my makeup wear has been the same, maybe a little lower, but not the way a lot of people are like, I never touch makeup right now. But
I probably wear makeup a little bit less than I did.
Yeah, because you used to put it on every day.
Every day, full B every day to work. And I also say this, that's kind of why I think some of the ones that hyaluronic acid this summer, y'all might want to look at your skincare ingredients as well. If you're using skincare with HA and you are using a foundation, I had to learn to like pay attention and look at which skincare I used, which determined which foundations I would use. Because I kind of started to realize that if I'm using HA in my skincare and then my foundation has it, these two things don't like hang. Like my skin is, I'm already oily faced, you know, and like now I'm like trying to all the moisture. There's just too much. Like then I'm just like, I'm so glowy.
Also, KBD is owned by Kendo, so yes, they do. Because Taz asked, anyone suspect undeclared ads with KBD?
Survey says
yes. Yes, exactly. They have Sephora. It's not just Kendo owned. It's Sephora and LVMH is like Louis Vuitton. Like they're owned by. So yeah, they have the money. I think it's interesting actually that foundation released right now, because that's a super, super matte full coverage foundation.
It's gross.
It's also according to Teresa, also it transfers. So like masks and transfer foundation sound like a terrible concept.
And hold on. I was looking for somebody who said... because somebody just said something and then I scrolled and tried to find it. I may have a good mattifying primer, which I'm wearing right now. And you wouldn't think that it's a mattifying primer, but it's a mattifying glow primer. So it keeps you like mappa glowy. And I'm like, bitch, what? We'll see. I'll let you know if it works out. But this is like the second time I've used it. And again, I'm like, I love you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love you so much. Yeah, I think this is a good way to put it. MJ the Gray said, I've definitely been wearing less makeup, but taking my time really getting to know my makeup.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. Where like,
yeah.
And yeah, some of it is because like this is my hobby talking about makeup on YouTube, but like I mean, I've been buying plenty of makeup, but I also kind of want to figure out like the stuff that I have. Like, okay, what do I actually think of it? Am I reaching for it? Am I using it? Like, I didn't realize, even for me, like I've said, I wasn't a big foundation buyer or wearer or reviewer, but like I recently, not even recently, no, in November, Alex got me the Daydream Cushion Foundation for my birthday. And I wore it a couple of times and I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure how I think about this. Like, I don't, and then like, but I wasn't reaching for it. And like, it's a lightweight foundation. Like, yes, not everyone's into cushions, but like, I don't always hate this format. And it applied decent with a brush. And then I finally realized I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't know if I would have like explored my thoughts if I wasn't just at home thinking about makeup. And so now I'm just like, yeah, if somebody wants this or wants to buy it, I have a whole full cushion because I am not going to use this. And so like I do feel like I'm getting to know the stuff that I have a little better. Not all of it. I have a lot of makeup, but
yeah, I've spent more time getting to know my makeup, playing with my makeup. Well, I've done that. I just
swatching a lot just to play around and like pick up a palette and start swatching. Yes.
And so I'll definitely say that like as you move into this, like just be mindful that like, because one, we're probably going to start seeing more and more videos of people being like, I'm no longer into cream and this is why. So like,
or it's going to be like, so this is how I'm using my cream makeup now.
Yeah.
And they show you like, I use this for my lips. I use this and then I powder it. Like, I don't know if people are going to be I don't think people are going to like eat their words that quickly, but I think they're going to start changing the narrative about how to use cream makeup and where cream makeup is like useful.
Yeah, because I mean, like you were saying, I guess to tie everything back.
Yeah.
It's just like people weren't really paying attention to all of the changes in powder. And powders have been really just going to different levels and looking so good on the skin. Highlighters are looking so good. Plus, we learned different techniques. We started realizing that you don't apply highlighter this way because of like the way that this person looks, because their cheekbone structure is different than yours, and you needed to figure out like, oh well, I'm just gonna do this then because like this is like I can tell you right now. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you right now, this is where the light actually hits my skin, and this is what my skin looks like in the sunshine.
It does. It does. And also like I realized like, I mean, and this I realized a little while back, but I'm like, I don't have to wear gold or white gold or whatever highlighters. I don't have to wear those things. I can wear, this is a multi-chrome highlighter, or I can wear, you know, a green highlighter or this or that. And like, it makes me happy and it makes me feel like, Yolanda, I bet if you've looked on Amazon or Google that they sell those. I'm 99% sure they do because I've heard people talk about just buying the cushion compact and putting makeup into it. But yeah, I think everyone is like learning more about makeup. And I think it's also like a good reminder that other people's makeup styles don't have to be your own. Even us, we're sitting here talking about cream, this, no, that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you're still like, I love all cream, I layer it up, I'm a dewy bitch, like that's great. If that works for you, that's great. But also it's good to take stock and be like, is this working for me?
Yeah, because like I was making myself a whole dewy ass bitch without all of that. And you can you can do the no makeup look without having to buy a bunch of creams. And again,
yes,
what Emily said earlier, you can still do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can still do your, because you go way the hell back on my Instagram, you will find it. You will find the like no makeup Audra looks.
Yeah.
You will find them.
Yeah.
Please don't go look for them. That's super embarrassing and it's gonna hurt my feelings.
I mean, you did say it though, so like
I'm like, it's gonna hurt my feelings because I don't delete shit because like I think I like started archiving things at some point, but like just because it doesn't fit like the majority of my aesthetic now. But just remember that you can still do these things. You don't need to go out and purchase all of these cream products. And that's another thing that Vision of You is bringing up is that cream products are harder to pass on to other because you can't sanitize it. So if you buy a bunch of creams and you're like, yes, I'm so excited. Like I will say products that I don't mind having a lot of like cream highlighters. I could have oodles of them. It's such a good time. I know I'm going to use them. I know that there are times when I'm like, I look like shit. And I know it, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna put some Duet Balm like in the bag of my eyes and like bring it all the way down.
But the great thing also about the Duet is that I think it's more versatile because it's like even if there's color in it, it's pretty translucent. So like you can just wear it on your own, like you said, like on top of your skin, or you can wear it with other like highlighters or whatever. That's what I found, at least for the one I have. I have like not the clear one, but the next one that's basically for me, it's almost clear. It has like a lid. Yeah.
The pink and like the kind of bronzy one, the pink of the same color.
But also if you want to try out cream, like if you're like, but I've been listening to all the trends and I'm tempted, like go to drugstore. This little elf. Okay. So actually, if you're curious about the Duet Balm and you're curious about cream blushes, this little elf one, he was looking so cute. And then did he move? Like the highlighter in here is basically the Duet Balm that I have. Like it does the same thing. It's a little bit more emollient. And these cream blushes are definitely veering into the like more creamy, but it's like $6 or $8 versus spending $15, $20, $30 or $100+ to pick up a bunch of different creams and then realize like well, it's funny actually because like I've been playing around with my blush placement, and so I like what I did yesterday more, but like I've been doing like I did like blush back here and then nothing here. This is all highlighter. I'd highlighted first and then I put blush across the nose, and like it's so close to my under eyes that it's kind of doing the red puffy. It's like sunburn face / red puffy eye thing. It is like some people are doing like intense blush from like the lower lash line down, like red, orange, like blush, just like totally covering up their eye bags with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
good times, I guess. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, or Milani cream, like obviously do whatever you want, but I like, just feel like if you want to play, if you're like, but I've finally been like convinced of the hype of cream makeup, like start slow. I think that's the thing. Is like for me, I went a little heavy into playing with them. I don't have any major regrets, but I also don't need as many that I have. So
like cream highlighter is I'm gonna continue to use even this summer. Sorry, my finger got fat and swollen, so I had to take my ring off. Like I just started swelling up because it's hot as fuck already. I'm getting mad about it. But anyways, like it was like 80 something degrees today, and I was like, no.
Also, I love blush draping.
Take that away. Everything. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna continue to use that because like highlighter is kind of, it's fun, it's easy. I can put it on my bare skin, and then like it's fine. Like cream highlighter, like I can just put it on my bare skin and I like put it on my high points because y'all see where the light hits me. Like this is why
it's like MAC strobe cream or the VDL Lumi Layer primer. It's like having that like glowy that's no makeup to me. Like like I go for that more. I will actually say cream eyeshadows, in particular, something like the Danessa Color Fix that are really like they really lock into place. I might actually reach for those more in the summer because sometimes with my sweaty eye, like with how much I sweat, my like powder eyeshadows will crease or break down quicker. And so I might actually, because I remember, I think it was 2 summers ago, it was really just torturously hot here. And for a while, I didn't have an air conditioner. And I was living by actually the little, it's called Frog. It's from ColourPop, but it was like one of those like wet look glittery cream eyeshadows, because that was one of the only kinds of eyeshadows that would stay on my eyes. And so that might be the thing that I dip into in the summer months more than I've done otherwise, because I want to play with those as bases and see if they help. Also, Deja has an interesting question. Do any of those pretty purple cream liquid blushes look good on dark skin? I can't find pics. I was gonna say, isn't Salt coming out with a purple, like a deeper purple blush?
Okay. Is it, wait, which one from?
From Salt, New York.
I have.
But you don't have it. But I saw them.
I don't think I have that one. You're right. I was thinking about, what the fuck? Her Majesty. I was thinking about those and how those, like that purple.
Oh, Her Mannerisms.
There we go. I'm like, Her Majesty. Thank you for translating.
Wait, but also, Deja, if you have a purple lipstick or deep berry purpley lipstick, you could also play with that as a blush. It's fine. I know you're dropping your nail link. It's fine. You're all good. But I feel like, and then
it's not affiliated or anything. I just use that Etsy shop. So
yes,
I just wanted y'all to know, because a few people were saying that.
But yeah, you do purple, but it's powder blush. But I do
powder highlighter. I use, and all I need less. So here's what I will say though: if you are using purple like highlight on deeper skin, my recommendation is to do the highlight first before the blush. Because if you do the blush first and then you put the highlight on top of it, it can make it look a little bit like you got a bruise if you don't want to look like you have a bruise. So like a lot of times you just end up having purple blush and then like deepening the highlighter by using like some cream, like duet. And then I'm like, bam.
I have to say, if you've ever put on a color highlighter and you're like, this looks weird on me, if you haven't tried putting it on first and putting your blush on top, try that. Because I find that, I mean, obviously I have uncooked chicken skin tone, but I find that sometimes when I put it on top, like this multi-chrome highlighter does have this like tinge of a gray base, because that's what a lot of those iridescent multi-chromes do. They have like just a bit of a gray base. But when I put it down first and then put blush on top, it like melts together more. And you don't get that gray base as apparent, if at all. Versus if I were to put it on top, you would get more of that stripy effect. And the edge of where the highlighter meets the skin, you would be able to see that gray difference more. And yes, liquid eyeshadow. So if y'all don't follow or look at Danessa Myrick's Instagram, like Danessa Myrick shows how certain liquid products can be used all over the face. Same product, all over the place, all over the face. So yeah.
I think I might try that for an about face.
So Tina was talking about a pink look that Danessa Myrick's has that's like very blush draped, and then like some pink on like the inner part of the eye. And I think it's all the same product. And I'm like, I might have to try that out. So I think that look, I fuck with lavender highlight heavy, so I want to match the blush. I cannot go on like this anymore. But don't forget, you can play around with powders too. Obviously, if there's a good cream blush out there that you want to try, that's the purpley tone that you want, go for it. But you could play around with your eyeshadows as blush. So that's the other thing, is that like sometimes the adventurous stuff that you see out there in cream products is actually you have it. Like I fucking love Ritual Defeat Chimera, but I also have a ton of green highlighters that are powder. And like that will give me a similar effect. I still love it, but I didn't need it, and I don't know if I'll go through it as quickly as I should for a cream product. So that's also a lot of the reality of it all.
Listen, the I'm gonna just be slathered in Ritual Defeat at some point. Like in the summer, my face will just be beaming, and it'll be like faced by Ritual Defeat, and people be like,
yeah. But like, I won't wear their Color Nectar balms in the summer. Their blushes that I have, I think they will be too sticky. Like they're not.
Oh no, I just wear it for an editorial look. Like put my whole face and be like, and just be shiny and wet.
We should do that for a stream. Just like we'll do it before we go on stream.
Shiny and wet.
Yes. I will do a black lipstick and then just like Chimera everywhere. I will do that.
Because I have one I think I might be able to use. Or that, or like I think I ordered. Did I order that birthday whatever from Kristen Lee?
Did you? The purple
I think I may
blue
have
one? I have the one from last year. God.
There's a chance I did. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they take a while. I ordered from them last year in like March, April, and it was like 12 weeks before I got my order. Why are you being so cute now, you little asshole?
Because he's like, it's about time. He's like, true. I know what time it is. They know our cadences. Like Bo knows.
He's like, if it's not time, I'm making it time.
I know.
But yeah.
Look how sweet he is. Wait, I gotta move the comments so we can see him.
Oh.
Look at his face. He is so happy right now.
I'll lean that down. You are just so chill. What happened?
He is like such a, like, I love him because like he is a terror upon the world. He screams into the void.
Always.
And yet he's so kind.
His head is also wet, which makes me think he probably dunked his head in water. Because again, you little like terror. And I'm just like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you just went to drink your water and was like, gonna put my whole body in it.
Like because he is just like, he is destruction personified. But like, look at him. Like, this is how they get us.
And he doesn't usually let me just hold him like this. You've seen he will climb up and like need biscuits.
He lives on your shoulder like a cat parrot.
Anytime I'm wearing a comfy, any of the 3 comfies that I have, he's like, I must need biscuits on your comfy. But like, he never just does this. I see you're just the ham. Mm-hmm.
Listen, screams into the void, but is so kind. My dating profile headline.
Liz, you are too good. Destruction personified, but cute. Goals. Yes, resistance is futile on a loop.
So yeah, I mean, conclusion, wear what you want to wear. I personally, I'm looking forward to, because here's what I want to stop happening, not just with cream, but in general. I want I get that there's going to be things that are trends, but what I want to like stop happening is just like everybody jumping so quickly onto it that it becomes like, this is the thing. And then we're all just buying this thing and it's not bringing us joy. I like that's it. And I know I'm guilty at times.
I think about that with like multi-chromes. I'm like, I mean, I'll still do that with multi-chromes.
Yeah, because those are fucking gorgeous and a fun time. But like when it comes,
I'm like, but shiny, sparkly powders, things that shift colors. Here's my money.
Yeah, I just kind of wish that the community as a whole would sometimes, I guess, also like, I mean, I guess sometimes I just wish people would look at the aesthetic right quick and like have a moment, and like maybe not quickly dismiss people of color and Black people when they're saying they don't like this brand because of XYZ, especially when it comes to inclusion and people being like, oh, well, it's a new brand. So like, oh, okay, so it's a new brand, but they have your shade and not mine. So I'm supposed to be okay with that. That's all I'm asking for. I'm just asking for like, just like listen to people. You don't have to speak on it. You can just listen and that's fine.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, let people enjoy things, but also don't be a dick about the fact that they can't enjoy the thing with you.
And that's why you have an issue with it. And that's why you're not gonna like, be just approving of something. I will end on the thing that I said. Oh, you just okay.
Tail.
Just tail and microphone. And that's also part of it.
And head.
All of the things. You were being so cute for a moment. I will say, I will repeat this, even though I was like, this might not get me. Hey, Viv.
I'm flirting with finger guns.
Yes.
That's how I flirt. I'm like,
looking fine. Oh,
I know, like, you look great. But I'm gonna return to my game.
I just feel like when you start looking at trends and how things can overwhelm a marketplace, oftentimes, I will say it, oftentimes it's made for white people. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, a lot of the cream trend was created by and popularized for white people with dry skin. And that's a very small market. And we should be looking at, is this inclusive and sustainable for everyone? And not sustainable in an ecological way, but like, is this something everyone can be a part of and enjoy? Yeah. I guess sustainable might not be the right word, but is this something that everyone can actually experience?
It's just people bastardize it for something else, so you're fine.
Yeah. Or is it a very small niche? Because to me, that's the part of makeup and anything in the world, when it's a very small niche of just the cool kids. And sometimes my features or my skin tone or who I am is included in that. It still makes me sad and mad and upset, because that's not the space that I live in my life. And that's not the space I want to live in my YouTube channel, in my makeup world, whatever. I want to be in a space where like everyone can just enjoy shiny, pretty things.
Yeah, because these aren't bags. It's just the way my skin is. Like, this is my face. This is how it's set. So like, that supernatural thing, I don't necessarily want there are parts of this that are deeper tone and color. So I don't, that's not my, that's not a good time for me. Only my deepest and my closest friends. Just kidding. Everybody has to see it, but who cares?
Also, I have one I don't really love. The e.l.f. Patty Blush.
I like mine, but I kind of figured out how to fuck with them. So it, like, for me, it goes better over top of a powder foundation, which is fucking weird. Like, or not powder, but over a liquid foundation. But like, you kind of very gently put the liquid foundation in this area, right? And then you just pack on the fucking nail and barely, like, listen, I'm a blush packer.
I mean, you see me wearing blush, I look like I'm sunburned. So yeah.
And then I just like kind of pack it on, then pop a little bit of blush on top of it, and then like that's how it works. But who knows? Anyway,
I don't know what's going on. And it's destruction hour, since he gave you some sweetness. But I need to play with the e.l.f. Putty Blush more, because I tried it a couple of times and I was like, I feel like it's breaking up on my face or applying patchy.
But if it is, yeah.
But I also have, again, it's getting to know your makeup. So on that note, because we are meandering around and we could talk about this forever, but
we really could.
We have animals that, well, at least I have at least one cat that's like, we're not fucking doing this anymore.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine, because he went on a long walk today.
Oh, yes, he attack. Yes, somebody wants attention, but it's not the hold and sit in place kind of attention. And Sharon, thank you. You put this so perfectly. Any smart, forward-thinking marketer must decenter whiteness. I appreciate saying like that. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did like the stream, feel free to leave us comments if there are things you want us to talk about, makeup or otherwise. We're trying to like keep things a little bit lighter, because the world is a little heavy. So
garbage.
Yeah. So yeah, we're always here to like listen and figure out. Next week will be a slightly different schedule, because it's another makeup week, bingo week, makeup nonsense bingo week. So I'm not sure the exact specifics, but won't be the normals, right?
No, I'm like, nah.
No. So we'll keep you updated on a community tab, Twitter, or somewhere, or just bother us and be like, hey, tonight? ? And maybe we'll answer. Because we're a mess, and social media is a lot of work that we don't always have the energy for. So thank you again for hanging out with us. And if anybody watching on the replay has gotten this far, thank you so much. That's a great trio of things to do. And again, if you don't follow Audra, you should go subscribe and follow on all platforms. And Viv, one of these days we need to awkwardly flirt in person again.
Listen, anyway. I will flirt awkwardly in person from 45 feet away.
Yes. I'm going to say the thing that I've been saying lately, which is don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, or better tomorrow than you did today. I know, I've been working on it, and I'm like, I have an outro. Yes!
You do!
On that note, thank you all again, and we'll see you next week. And let me press the button. Bye.